Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Global Heartstream meditation. I'm your host, Gabriel Gonsalves. And a big shout out and a big hello, big hug to Irish, to Amanda, Cindy. Thank you so much for the love. Sonia, Veronica, Bambi, it's been a while. And everybody else who's making their way into our Heartstream. How are you? How has your past week been? What are you bringing with you to today's meditation? Did you come to receive or did you come to give? It's really a very powerful question to ask because, and by the way, there's no right or wrong answer. Sometimes if you're depleted after the week, this is a great place to receive. But for some of you guys, I know that because of your spiritual practice and where you are right now, you also come here to give. And that's the essence of what we're doing. This is why we learn how to fill our hearts first at the very beginning of our time together through the powerful practice of heart brain coherence. Really energize the heart. So, from that place, we can, in essence, like this little image over here says, we can really unify our hearts to bring this world or to radiate this world out to a world that so desperately needs it. So as we go into the meditation today, I really want you to hold these images in your mind. The idea of we're holding hands, we're unifying our hearts, and we are in essence radiating a giant wave of unconditional love and compassion to the planet that so desperately needs it, especially in times like these. Janet, welcome. Nice to have you with us today, and everybody else who's joining us right now. Iris says she likes to give active Reiki. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. I can always feel your love. I really can. And even when you are depleted, um, I can also feel that you are opening to receive. And sometimes myself, I actually come to these meetings sometimes feeling quite depleted myself, and then use this time to connect also with the universal love energy and unify with our hearts. And I always find it much easier when I meditate in a group of people. It helps me to connect at a deeper level. And I know from conversation with some of you guys that you experience something similar. So today I want to start by sharing a dream that I had last night and an insight that I got from it. And some of you guys may find some resonance in the dream. Last night I had a dream that my house that I built in Venezuela, gosh, when I was in my late 20s, so more than 30 years ago, was being demolished. There was like this giant, one of those machines that just tear down concrete and the bases and the foundations. And my house sits at the top of a hill outside of Caracas, and all the pieces were just crumbling down. And I was at the bottom of the hill looking at what was happening, and obviously it was bringing up a lot of anger and fear at the same time, and also a lot of confusion. I would say that the predominant feeling that I had during the dream was one of confusion. And then when I woke up, I was feeling very confused, wondering, what was that? Why did I dream that? And then in that space, I continued to just to be with the feeling. This I always find that whenever I had a dream like that, that really uh, triggers me emotionally or brings up some strong emotions, I always find it's really good just to be with those feelings for a few whiles and breathe into the heart and ask your heart, my heart, what is a deeper message or meaning of this dream? And then as I sat in my bed or laid in my bed actually and listened to the wisdom that came from my heart, I remember a conversation that I had with my psychotherapist, Robbie, when I was living in the United States and working in the entertainment industry. And he would tell me, Gabriel, anytime that you have a dream about a house, especially if it's a building, it's always you. It's your structure. You are the house, you are the temple. And so it got me thinking, wow, okay, I'm starting to get a sense of what the dream is really telling me. And in essence, it has to do that with the fact that I have been moving into a completely different place in terms of the work that I feel called to do. Not that I'm abandoning that, but the structure that brought me this far cannot really take me to the next level that I aspire or I see myself going. And it requires for it to be, in essence, dissolved. It requires for it to disintegrate so that a new structure can be built. A new structure, which, by the way, I have been working and building for quite a while. And one of the things I've noticed is that there are things that I do on my day-to-day basis in terms of work, spiritual practice, etc., that I've grown very comfortable with. And to a certain degree, it defines who I think I am. But in this next stage of life, life is asking for a deeper commitment from myself and deeper surrender and really trusting God's plan for my life, which is not a blind plan, by the way. It's being expressed through a very specific vision, which I received many years ago. And so if you find yourself in a very similar situation, either having similar dreams or experiencing that sense of confusion that comes when you know that in order to be who you aspire to be or to have what you long to have or experience, you have to let go of this old limited self. They call it also the success paradox. What got you here won't get you there. So this idea that everything that you learned, developed, studied, practiced, and embodied was great to bring you up until this moment, but it's not going to bring you to the next level of your unfoldment. Now, the good news is that that new level, is naturally already emerging in the same way in which right now we're at the cusp of our equinox, which is tomorrow. And if you notice, fall is already making its way in. We don't have to force it. We don't have to make it happen. We just have to welcome it and recognize it and then do the things that falls require. So think of this next stage of your life as already beginning to give you signs that change is needed. Perhaps for some of you, it may be change in your diet. For some of you, it may be actually change in terms of your home situation. For some of you, it may have to do with like taking care of your body in ways in which you never had before, really paying attention to that. I've been speaking to a friend recently, and she was telling me that she had dedicated almost her entire life to helping other people. But now she's learning how to really take care of herself and really struggling to do that. Okay. And so I find that the key to this process of change and transformation, which, as you're also aware, is also happening globally. Big structures of power and control are also falling apart and coming down. And many of us are looking at what's happening out there in the world of politics, in terms of war and conflict, etc. What is we're looking at what is happening and experiencing a tremendous amount of confusion, not knowing really how we can best support this shift and the transformation. And so the key, whether if this is a shift that's happening inside of you or it's a shift that is happening outside and you want to support it, is unconditional love, is self love, but not in a romantic type of way, in the way in which my friend Jeff Foster describes it as the deepest acceptance of oneself. In essence, are you willing to deeply love yourself through this process of change and transformation? Are you willing to love yourself even though you haven't reached the next level of your success or your experience. Right now, in the midst of your confusion, in the midst of your darkness, when you have lost your job, when that relationship came to an end and you're experiencing a lot of grief, when you are either flat broke and unsure how you're going to be able to pay the rent at the end of the month, are you able to unconditionally love yourself that way? I want to share with you a quote by Carl Jung that really speaks to this idea or this insight that I'm sharing with you today. To love someone else is easy, but to love what you are, the thing that is yourself, is just as if you were embracing a glowing red hot iron. It burns into you, and that is very painful. Therefore, to love somebody else in the first place is always an escape, which we all hope for, and we will all enjoy it when we're capable of it. But in the long run, it comes back to us. You cannot stay away from yourself forever. You have to return, have to come to that experiment to know whether you really can love. That is the question, whether you can love yourself. And that will be the test. Can you love yourself the way that God, divinity, source, loves you in the midst of these transformation and these changes? Can you deeply accept it? Every aspect of yourself, even the ones that you avoid looking at like the plague. And rather than continue to look outside for the love that you want or the acceptance that you want, and instead begin to offer that to you. When I've asked myself that exact same questions, the answer honestly is no, I can't. I really cannot. There are things about me, and I won't go into detail, and a very long list that I really struggle to love and to accept. But here's the thing. A wise man once told me that which I cannot love in myself can be loved by God or the Christ in me. The image and likeness of God is what in some spiritual traditions is called the Christ consciousness, the Krishna consciousness, the divine essence within you. That part of you can. And so what we do then, what has really worked for me is in a moment of prayer to, in essence, say, Dear God, there's this thing about me, my life, whatever, that I'm really struggling to love and to deeply accept. It brings up resistance, it brings up anger, it brings up judgment, etc. Please help me love this. Please, thou, who are the source of all love in the cosmos, strengthen my capacity for love so that I can offer myself this love, so that I can love myself the way that thou loves me. And you notice that that very simple prayer can have a profound impact, because the divine within you can love even that which you deem unlovable. The divine within you can also forgive in you that which you have not been able or willing to forgive yet. The divine in you, God in you, can forgive even that person who hurt you the most, who abused you, who betrayed you. And so when you find it that in your humanity, you're just not in that place and just don't have either the willingness or the power to do it, you could always call in divine love to come and fill your heart and to help you forgive that and to help you do that. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen right away. All right, it could for some people. But in my experience, what begins to happen at that moment is all the different blocks that you have built around love or unforgiveness begin to be slowly dissolved. And as that happens, then there's more capacity for love in your heart. And as a result, the love muscle grows, because love and forgiveness are pretty much, in my experience, muscles that the more you forgive, the easier it becomes to forgive others. The more you accept in yourself your darkness, your flaws, your imperfections, your humanity, your brokenness, all the things that are part of our human nature, the easier it becomes to also love and forgive and accept those in others. All right. So, with that as an introduction, let us now move into a process or a meditation to increase our capacity to love ourselves. So, our prayer or our key affirmation is going to be: Dear God, let love be amplified in me. Let love be amplified in me. And the way in which I invite you to do this is by, first, we're going to recite the great invocation, Alice Bailey's extremely effective prayer that was handed down during the 1940s, during the World War II. And it invites the light of God to come and fill our minds, the love of God to fill our hearts, and our human will to be strengthened, so that the will of God, the divine plan of God, can be done in our lives, and we can become them instruments of God's love. That's the essence of what this prayer invites us to do. And the last thing I wanted to say is that I'm going to invite you to do, once we move into the meditation, to do a practice where we're breathing in, right, as we normally do. But I'm going to, instead of saying breathe through the heart, I'm going to invite you to imagine that you're breathing through the third eye instead. And then from there, you're going to imagine that the light that is the life force energy that is entering your third eye is now coming down to the heart. And then from there, you're going to then say the prayer, let love be magnified in me. Okay, so that is the practice. I will then say, okay, let's invite the presence of love in. And so I will direct you to breathe into your third eye. Hold. Imagine now this light traveling down to the heart. It shines. And then from there we say, let love be magnified in me. Okay, let us begin. If you want to, you can repeat the great invocation with me, or you can just simply receive it. Just listen to it. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into our human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into our human hearts. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Let light and love and power restore the love and the capacity to receive love in each person here today. The presence of love may be amplified in Mary Moore, in Janet, in Dog Demon, Janet, Noel, Cindy, Joan Anderson, Irish, Bambi, Veronica, Sonia, Amanda, and everybody else who's also present with us or watching the replay. As you close the eyes and bring a hand over to the heart, take a few moments just to check in with yourself, noticing how you feel in this moment. Noticing that right there underneath that feeling, there's a beating heart. A heart that beats approximately 100,000 times a day. It's been there since you were about 21 days old when it began to beat. It was there while you were forming in your mother's womb, and it was there when you experienced the separation of your mother's womb and came out into this cold world, meeting strangers, and felt scared and afraid. There, your beating heart was present. As it became present the moment Mother held you and fed you and nurtured you with her love, your beating heart, which is also your feeling heart, has been with you through life's ups and downs, through your biggest victories and your defeats, through your biggest joys and those moments of grief. It adjusts, it inspires, it accepts. As you begin to breathe into that beating heart of yours, take a moment to feel gratitude and appreciation, not just for the feeling and beating heart, but also for the presence that animates it, the spark of the Creator that makes your heart beat, the proof that God exists and God is real and that God is in you. God is life, and the life that beats your heart is the presence of God in you. Breathing nice and slow, breathing nice and deep, establishing a nice even rhythm so that your inhale and your exhale are about the same length. As you breathe, you give yourself permission to relax any area in the body where there might be tension. Letting go of tension, especially in the head, the neck and the shoulders. Letting your breath fill the totality of your stomach area, breathing down into the belly, softening the stomach muscles. Feeling gratitude and appreciation for this moment and for this life. Feeling gratitude and appreciation for yourself, for how far you have come, for your capacity to heal, for all that's taken for you to be here right now. Feel gratitude, especially for those special people in your life who have supported you, inspired you, believed in you. And with each breath in and out of the heart, allow this feeling of gratitude and appreciation to begin to grow inside of you and expand in every direction as it begins to envelope every organ in the body. The vibration of gratitude completely surrounding every organ, every muscle, every cell. Now imagine that right where the third eye is, which is the brow chakra or the space just behind the eyes, in the center of your head, imagine that there is a point of light, and begin to now to direct your breathing into that point. This is the point of light that we summoned when we spoke the great invocation, having already descended into your human mind. In a few moments, I'm going to ask you to take an even more conscious and deeper breath into this third eye center, and then hold your breath for a few moments. And while you hold the breath, imagine that that light comes from the mind and then drops down to the heart, where it not only sets the heart on fire, but it also combines with the heart. And then after you have that image in your mind, then either out loud or silently repeat the affirmation. Let love be amplified in me. Ready? Imagining the point of light in the mind. Take a deep breath. Holding it. Visualizing as the light travels down into the heart where it explodes. And let love be amplified in me as you exhale. Once again, point of light in the mind. Deep inhale. Hold it. See the light dropping into the heart. It expands, shining everywhere. And let love be amplified in me. Last time. Point of light. Deep inhale. Light drops down into the heart. It explodes. And as you exhale, let love be amplified in me. You are now the light of the heart that is shining in the darkness of being, changing all into the golden treasury that is the mind of God. You are the light of God in the midst of you, projecting itself out into the world, correcting all errors, dissolving all blockages. You are the power of God's infinite love now, amplifying itself until it is victorious in a world without end. The light of God within you has the capacity to love in you and in others all of that which the ego or the intellect believed is broken, imperfect, or unlovable. The light of God within you can open your mind to new possibilities, to a new vision for your life. The will of God, which is the power of creation itself, can strengthen your human will and your capacity to manifest miracles in this life. As we drop into a sacred space of communion with the divine, the invitation is to continue to harness the light within, the light of your heart, radiating it to those aspects of yourself where healing may be required, wholeness, acceptance, compassion, softening, radiating it out also to every person who's part of this virtual circle, radiating it out, especially to those areas in the world where it's most needed. You are the light of the heart. You are the amplification of love in every cell, in every atom of your being. Let love continue to be amplified in you with each breath, with every heartbeat. Let love be amplified. Dear God, as we bring this meditation to a close, I ask you that you continue to fill the hearts and minds of every person here today with light and love. I ask that you strengthen their will so that their will aligns with your will, knowing that your will is always the joy and the happiness of your children and the fulfillment of the divine plan upon this earth. Amen. I invite you to take a deep breath into the heart and slowly let out. Once again, deep inhale. And one last time, deep inhale into the heart. And release as you begin to open your eyes, becoming reacquainted once again with the physical reality that surrounds you. Feeling present, feeling calm. Welcome back. Coming home to your own heart, coming home to the part of you that really feels, that sees, that is. Always connected to the infinitely loving presence of God. Sometimes can bring up an overwhelming feelings that sometimes just renders you speechless. The path of the heart is like that. It bypasses the mind and all sense of rationality. You find yourself crying out for absolutely no reason at all. Sometimes just the beauty of life itself. Sometimes it could also just simply be old emotional wounds or pain, things that had been blocking your heart for a very long time that are just making their way out. Either way, the important thing is to continue just to be present. Continue to offer your unconditional acceptance to what shows up, whether if that be all pain, grief, or regret, or just the absolute joy of life itself, the inexplicable joy of life. All right, my beautiful friends, we're coming to the end of our time together. So it is my hope that you're walking away feeling refreshed, nurtured, yes, strengthened. Remembering always that it's really God's love that heals us, the love of the Creator, either expressed through the Creator in its masculine form as the Father that guides us, that supports us, or the Mother that nurtures us and that heals us. It doesn't matter. So the important thing is that you continue to be loving and gentle with yourself. And if you are moving through a big transition in your life, to continue to offer yourself that same love and acceptance to yourself at every moment, especially when you forget it. And you will forget it because we're human and we constantly forget, and that's just our human nature. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your beautiful comments. I always enjoy reading them. I don't always have the opportunity to reply to them, but I do my best to read as many of them as I possibly can. I wish you a fantastic rest of your day and Sunday, wherever you are in the world. I need you once again to continue to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday at the same time on this same channel. Till then, I send you all of my love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now.